Alright everyone, so tonight I am at Bofinger. This actually is, aside from being a very beautiful looking restaurant, it was one of the first brasseries in Paris, meaning that they made their beer actually in-house and on the premise, and that's what made a place a brasserie. So quite a cool thing there. It actually specializes in sauerkraut and such familiar Alsatian foods, but I will not really be having any of that tonight. I must be honest, I came missing. I came mostly because of how beautiful the interior was and how old it is. And the food reviews are pretty good. Some people say it's a bit of a tourist trap, other people say it's not, but we'll see. Katz's Delicatessen in New York is arguably a tourist trap, but it's also excellent food. So the two things can exist at the same time. And yeah, I hope it'll be good and just happy to be here and try it out. Anyway, see how it goes. Cheers. As you can see, the burrata's arrived. It's not made here for sure. Not super fresh, but its presentation's nice. It's not bad. It's refreshing. The actual vinaigrette and everything from the tomato and the peppers is delicious, but the burratas, I've had way better burrata almost anywhere else. You can see how it's not runny or anything. It's quite contained, so it's still good. It's just not, let's say, like super fresh made here burrata. But I think it's burrata like from Pigalle or something, so it makes sense. Just a quick thing to add. I'll put some shots of it now or just before as I mention this, but because I'm looking at everything in each place, so the bread arrives. It's sort of a sourdough roll, not hot. It didn't feel fresh. It wasn't warm either. Messy, but they also didn't serve it with butter, which I feel like is something you should always do. It shouldn't be something you have to ask, but that's not something I would hold against them. Tried it now with some of the butter. The butter's demi-sel, so lightly salted. And very tough to eat, obviously, because it's a sourdough. Didn't taste very fresh, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world, but I think the difference between, like, let's say, a good place and a great place is like the small things they care about. But hopefully the other things will be great. Again, the starter for me was a bit of a miss as well. And a miss in the sense of I feel like if you're going to charge a certain rate for certain food, you should provide a certain quality. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Okay, so the Chateaubriand arrived. The flambe was for show, but again, I didn't expect it to be something unbelievable, right? But it looks like it will be nice. So let's take some. The meat is nice, and that's it. Probably the worst Chateaubriand I've had. Again, they don't let it burn the alcohol long enough out of the brandy that they're using or whatever. So the end result is the steak sauce is very, you can still taste the alcohol, and you shouldn't be able to. It should be completely heated out. there should be some sort of remnant, but not like such a hit. The potato au gratin, to be honest, is it leaves a lot to be desired. I haven't shown it, I think, but this is it. So let me maybe level this out. It's not that it tastes bad. There's just absolutely nothing noteworthy about it. And again, from the point of view of if you're visiting Paris or anywhere really, right? You want to go somewhere where everything you're ordering, there's a purpose. And it might not be that every item on the menu or every course is going to be excellent, but you want there to be a star. And I think just a rule of thumb, if you can't perform something fantastic in a restaurant, so don't have that on your menu. I think considering the premium price that they're charging for this, which is well above like what you would typically pay for a good Chateaubriand or steak in Paris, I think this really left a lot to be desired. And that the company or the group that owns this and many other institutes in Paris that they bought, I don't know what it was like prior to them owning it, but I do think that the fact that they're not really competing, people are coming here because of its history and maybe because of things like the Alsatian food, which I have to state, right? I've never eaten it. That would be excellent, right? That's what they're known for. So I don't want that to get lost in this. They're famous for that. I'm not eating that. So I'm not someone who's coming to a seafood restaurant and ordering steak and expecting it to be the best steak. But at the same time, they have it on their menu and they're charging it at a premium. I expect something more than that. But you cannot deny it is a beautiful venue. So maybe come, but order something different. I think more on the lower side of the pricing scale so that you don't leave feeling maybe disappointed. That's all. Okay, for dessert, I got the profiterole, which is just a French classic. It's typically vanilla ice cream inside a choux pastry with very hot, warm chocolate sauce poured over. That's what it looks like. The service has been nice. The profiterole it's a profiterole. Again, you can't really mess it up, but it's good. I think just order something different to what I had as a starter and a main. I would lean towards the safer side of something on the lower end of the price scale, so that the gap between what you pay, what you get, and that value gap is maybe shorter. But I do think there's enough of a reason to consider visiting just for the venue itself is just so beautiful, if you appreciate that. And its history in Paris and I guess everything to do with food in Paris. Or again, try the sauerkraut and things that they're famous for. But the Chateaubriand was a total miss. Like, honestly, one of the worst I've ever had when I think of the whole thing. The steak itself was fine because it's a delicious cut. It's just not delicious, doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it's a good cut. That's it.